everybody, welcome to the Successful Showgirl Bootcamp. My name is Kitty and today we are on, oh God, what day are we on? Day 10 of our bootcamp. Okay, so this week is our mindset week. Yesterday I set you the task of recording some affirmations on your phone and listening to them every morning. Give me a heads up in the comments if you did actually listen to them every morning. It's like 10:10 on the clock. I'm obsessed with these angel number things at the minute. Every time I look at the clock, there's an angel number and it's like accidental. So let me know in the comments if you did record your affirmations, but also if you actually listened to them this morning. There's no point doing the task if you're not going to actually commit to listening to them every single day. Ideally, first thing in the morning was what we said, wasn't it? Right, so my task for you today is to do with limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs are things that we tell each other or we tell ourselves that aren't quite true. They're just a belief, okay? So unless something is factual for 100% of people 100% of the time, it's not a fact, okay? So if I say there are no jobs out there, that is an absolute non-fact, okay? Because there are people who are getting jobs, all right? That is a belief that I'm telling myself that's limiting the outcome of me getting more jobs. Okay, so today we're going to delve into limiting beliefs. And we're going to do it a little bit different than the way we normally do it. So I read this morning, I was listening to a video, and the guy on it mentioned, there's like a sentence in the Kybalion, if you've ever read the Kybalion, which is like a really amazing book on, it brings together all like manifestation techniques, and it is that all truths are half truths, okay? So there's always a flip side to what you're telling yourself. If you tell yourself there are no jobs, well, there aren't, okay? But if you tell yourself there are lots of jobs around, well, there are, yeah? Also, the kind of people that say, oh, there's no good men in the world, always meet shitty people. Or the people that say, I can't stop eating rubbish, are the ones that continue to do it. You've got to flip your belief, your negative belief, into a positive belief. There's a quote by Henry Ford, and it's, whether you tell yourself you can or you can't, you're right, okay? You've got to choose, are you going to keep telling yourself the negative belief, or are you going to start telling yourself the positive belief? So I want you today, your task is to write down all the half-truths that you tell yourself. I've just done mine before, okay, and I'll read some of them out, all right? So what half-truths do you tell yourself? Top of mind, I wrote this one first. This isn't one of mine, but this is one that I hear from performers all the time. Again, there are no jobs out there. Of course there's bloody jobs out there. People, you see other performers working, so you know there are jobs, yeah? You've got to get out there and you've got to look for them. If you start telling yourself, there's loads of opportunities, I just need to find them, that's a complete different mindset to there are no jobs, okay? Burlesque doesn't pay any money is another one that I hate. That's like a collective belief in the burlesque community, when that is, again, not technically true. There's loads of burlesque performers that make loads of money, but then there's people that don't make any money, and guess who makes loads of money? The people who believe they can. And guess who makes no money? The people who collectively tell themselves that you can't make any money out of burlesque, okay? So you need to really think about what you're telling yourself on repeat, and I want you to write them down. What else I wrote here? Dating is really hard these days, I've put. It's not, is it? Like, I'm just complicating things. What else have I put? Some of these are dead personal, so I don't want to read them out. Oh, here's one. I haven't got any spare money to buy costumes, go to classes, etc., which is rubbish, because I've always got money to go on a night out, or to go out for a meal, or to go out for drinks. So that's also crap. I just choose to put my money in the wrong place sometimes, okay? So that's one of mine. I annoy people constantly posting about my courses and things. That obviously is rubbish. People can... my Kitty Campari page is my performing business page, so if people don't want to hear what I've got to sell or what I've got coming up or anything about me as a performer, then they can just leave the page, can't they? Like, I don't need those people to be on there. So if I can post on my pages and in my groups whatever I want, but sometimes I think, oh, I'm not going to post that because it's going to annoy people, when actually if it annoys people they can just go, can't they? Yeah, so I've like kind of gone through things that stop me from doing things, and I've wrote them all down, and then what I've done underneath, so I've wrote everything down in one colour, and then underneath I've wrote the opposite of why that's not true. So one of my big ones at the minute, well, it's not at the minute, but it has been over like the past couple of years, is that no one in the industry likes me because I get like a bit of negativity from a small group of people. But that's obviously not true, is it? I've got loads of people that I'm good friends with in the industry. And I've also got 92 people coming to my conference this year. That's no accident. Like, if people didn't like me, I wouldn't have 92 people come in to learn from me and spend a whole weekend with me in my hometown, which is miles away from everywhere. So I've had to like go through the things that I tell myself and reverse it. And now every time I tell myself one of those things, I have to tell myself the opposite. So if I find myself saying to myself, there's no jobs out there, I have to be like, hang on a minute, there are jobs out there because other people are getting jobs, so I need to look where those opportunities are. There are obviously opportunities, I'm looking in the wrong place, so how do I solve that problem, okay? There might still be obstacles, but you can solve that problem. If you're looking in the wrong places for jobs, then you just ask somebody, like, how do I find more jobs? Where can I look for more jobs? Email some agents and ask them if they've got any jobs available. Email some producers and say, have you got any shows coming up? Here's my stuff. Like, you can overcome that. But if you're waiting for opportunities to just drop in your lap, let me tell you, they're not going to happen, okay? You've got to get out there and you've got to make shit happen, all right, for yourself. So, task today is, these are limiting beliefs, but I want you to, limiting beliefs is a bit of a fancy word, isn't it? And sometimes people don't really get what I'm saying. They're basically the half-true things that you tell yourself. They might be true for one subset of the population, but they're not true for the other subset. And which do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the subset that aren't getting what they want, or do you want to be in the subset that do get what they want? You choose, you decide your reality, you decide your success. If you're going to be the person that continues to tell themselves they can't get this, and we all have those days where we're pessimistic. I'm not talking like toxic positivity here, I'm really not. There are days when obviously I say these things to myself, which is why I've got a list 2 pages long of the shit that I say. But as long as I'm counteracting that with reminding myself that I'm being ridiculous, and obviously there is an alternative to the things that I'm saying, then I'm training my brain to look for the opportunities. I'm training my brain to be more positive. I'm training my brain to ignore those little voices in your head that tell you you can't do something, and just do it anyway, okay? So that is your task today. If you want to share them, you can, or if you want to share like your top few and how you flip them into something positive, you can do. I guarantee a lot of people have the same ones. Some of them will be, I'm too old to be a performer. That's a classic one that I get told. Not skinny enough to be a performer. That's another one. I'm not good enough to be a performer. I've not been to a dance school. I only just started performing a year ago. Blah 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 blah. There's loads. Okay, none of them matter. All right. I started when I was 30. I am not super skinny. I am not somebody who danced my whole life. I taught dancing, but I wasn't somebody who performed. That I only started that when I was in my 30s. Even amateur performing, I never really did anything like that. What was my other one? Can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, but all those things are irrelevant. Oh yeah, this one. And I've only been performing X amount of time, so I shouldn't be getting paid X amount of money. Rubbish. When I started performing, I made a decision that I wanted to become a performer. Within a month, I had a regular job, a residency in a club that I performed at every single week, and I was getting paid properly for it. And then I was doing extra corporate gigs on top of that within a month. Yeah, I didn't listen to all these people saying you have to have done X amount of time doing this. I knew that I was good. I knew I had nice costumes. I knew I was good at what I do. So I just went for it. I didn't listen, okay? I cut out the noise. And luckily, I didn't start in the burlesque circuit, going to classes and things like that. So I wasn't hearing that constant noise of, you can't do this. You have to have done 2 years before you can even consider yourself to get paid. All that crap that people tell each other. I wasn't in that, so I didn't have that holding me back. So you need to start thinking about as well who you're getting advice from, who you're surrounding yourself with. If your people that you're surrounding yourself with are giving you the advice of holding yourself back, maybe you need to consider of whether they're the kind of people that you want to be taking advice on, okay? It's up to you who you listen to, but I just really don't believe it does you any favours holding yourself back just because other people believe that you should, okay? So you take from me whatever you want to take from me, and take from other people what you want to take from them. But please don't feel like you have to work for nothing for years on end to pay your dues. That is a load of crap, okay? That's just what people tell you to keep you small so that they can maintain their place in the hierarchy of how it all goes, okay? I don't want to hold you down. I don't want to hold people back. I want to see people competing with me for jobs and getting jobs over me, because that's my job. 2, that's going to help me step my game up. I'm not going to keep you small. So please don't be playing small just because some people in the industry think that that is what you should be doing, okay? You are your own person. You're the one that pays your bills. You're the only person who can decide what you should be doing in life, whether that is your parents telling you something, your partner telling you something, or somebody that's been in the industry for 15 years telling you something. You still get to make your own choices. All right, that's my little rant for today. So get all those written down. If you want to share some, please do. It helps the collective if you do share. When you're sharing stuff though, please share it under this video in the comments rather than separate posts, because it makes it all messy and people can't find the posts from each day. So if you're sharing your limiting beliefs, please share them in the comments of this video so everybody can see where it belongs. All right, have a lovely day. I will speak to you all tomorrow, and enjoy your Wednesday.